Hi, this is Ridea Keeping It Real, and we are reading through the Bible. We're reading through the Good News Bible, and we're on Hosea chapter 8. So, if you've been with me all this time, let's get started. Hosea chapter 8. The Lord condemns Israel for idol worship. The Lord says, sound the alarm. Enemies are swooping down on my land like eagles. My people have broken the covenant I made with them and have rebelled against my teaching. Even though they call me their God and claim that they are my people and that they know me, they've rejected what is good. Because of this, their enemies will pursue them. My people chose kings, but they did it on their own. They appointed leaders, but without my approval. They took their silver and gold and made idols for their own destruction. I hate the gold bull worshipped by the people of the city of Samaria. I'm furious with them. How long will it be before they give up their idolatry? An Israelite craftsman made the idol, and it is not a god at all. The gold bull worship in Samaria will be smashed to pieces. When they sow the wind, they will reap a storm. A field of grain that doesn't ripen can never produce any bread. But even if it did, produce any bread. But even if it did, foreigners would eat it up. Israel has become like any other nation and is as useless as a broken pot. Stubborn as wild donkeys, the people of Israel go their own way. They have gone off to seek help from Assyria and have paid other nations to protect them. But now I'm going to gather them together and punish them. Soon they will write in pain when the emperor of Assyria oppresses them. The more altars the people of Israel build for removing sin, the more places they have for sinning. I write down countless teachings for my people, but they reject them as strange and foreign. They offer sacrifices to me and eat the meat of the sacrifices. But I, the Lord, you know, the Most High talks a lot about uh, eating and feasts and what we should and should not eat. You're not going to see people talking about that, but it's critical. Keeping the feast days and honoring the Most High in those ways. But it's in here that they offer sacrifices to me and eat the meat of the sacrifices. But I, the Lord, am not pleased with them, and now I will remember their sin and punish them for it. I will send them back to Egypt. But the people of Israel have built palaces, but they have forgotten their own maker. The people of Judah have built fortified cities, but I will send fire that will burn down their palaces and their cities. Hosea announces punishment for Israel. People of Israel, this is Hosea, I guess, talking to Israel, kind of warning them. People of Israel, stop celebrating your festivals like pagans. And that means stop celebrating for us, stop celebrating all of these holidays they've made up. Hopefully we stop those. You know, the pandemic should have cured you of that. So, people of Israel, stop celebrating your festivals like pagans. You've turned away from your God and have been unfaithful to him. All over the land, you have sold yourselves like prostitutes to the god Baal and have loved the grain you thought he paid you with. But soon you will not have enough grain and olive oil, and there will be no wine. The people of Israel will not remain in the Lord's land, but will have to eat forbidden food in Assyria. In those foreign lands, they will not be able to make wine offerings to the Lord or bring their sacrifices to him. Their food will defile everyone who eats it, like food eaten at funerals. It will be used only to satisfy their hunger. None of it will be taken as an offering to the Lord's temple. Right? Their food will defile everyone who eats it, like food eaten at funerals. Wait, in those foreign lands, they will not be able to make wine offerings to the Lord or bring their sacrifice to Him. Their food will defile everyone who eats it, like food eaten at funerals. It will be used only to satisfy their hunger. None of it will be taken as an offering to the Lord's temple. Okay. And when the time comes for the appointed festivals to honor the Lord, honor of the Lord, what will they do then? When the disaster comes and the people are scattered, the Egyptians will gather them up, gather them for burial there at Memphis. Their treasures of silver and the places where their homes once stood will be overgrown with weeds and thorn bushes. The time for punishment has come, the time when people will get what they deserve. When that happens, Israel will know it. This prophet, you say, is a fool. This inspired man is insane. You people hate me so much because your sin is so great. God has sent me as a prophet to warn his people Israel. Yet wherever I go, you try to trap me like a bird. In God's own land, the people are the prophet's enemies. They are hopelessly evil in what they do, just as they were in Gibeah. God will remember their sin and punish them for it. Israel's sins and consequences. The Lord says, when I first found Israel, it was like finding grape growing in a desert. When I first saw the ancestors, it was like seeing the first ripe figs in the season. But when they came to Mount Peor, they began to worship Baal and soon became as disgusting as the gods they loved. Israel's greatness will fly away like a bird, and there will be no more children born to them, no more women pregnant, no more children conceived. I wonder when that happened. But even if they did bring up children, I would take them away and not leave one alive. That happened. Okay, so maybe they did have the children and then, the children were taken from them during slavery and things like that. When I abandon these people, terrible things will happen to them. That is true. Lord, I can see their children being hunted down and killed. Wow. Woo! Hunted down and killed. What shall I ask you to do to these people? Make their women barren? Make them unable to nurse their babies? Oh, so their babies wouldn't be killed. The Lord's judgment on Israel. The Lord says, all of their evil doings began at Gilgal. It was there that I began to hate them. So we say God don't hate. Yeah, he did. He hated his people. And because of the evil that they've done, I will drive them out of my land. I will not love them anymore. All of their leaders have rebelled against me. The people of Israel are like a plant whose root has dried up and which bears no fruit. They will have no children, but even if they did, I will kill the children so dear to them. Ooh. The prophet speaks of Israel. The God I serve will reject his people because they have not listened to him. They will become, chapter 10, wanderers amongst the nations. The people of Israel were like a grapevine that is full of grapes. The more prosperous they were, the more altars they built. The more productive their land was, the more beautiful they made the sacred stone pillars they worship. The people whose hearts are deceitful must now suffer from their sins. God will break down the altars and destroy their sacred pillars. These people will soon be saying, we have no king because we did not fear the Lord. But what could a king do for us anyways? They utter empty words and make false promises and useless treaties. True, like our presidents have empty words and make false promises and useless treaties. Justice has become injustice, growing like poisonous weeds in the plowed field. The people who live in the city of Samaria will be afraid and will mourn the loss of the gold bull at Bethel. They and the priests who serve the idol will weep over it. They will wail when it is stripped of its golden splendor. The idol will be carried off to Assyria. As tribute to the great emperor, Israel will be disgraced and put to shame because of the advice she followed. Her king will be carried off like a chip of wood on water. The hilltop shrines of Avon, where the people of Israel worship idols, will be destroyed. Thorns and weeds will grow up over their altars. The people will call out to the mountains, hide us, and to the hills, cover us. These are great references down here. The Lord pronounces judgment on Israel. The Lord says, the people of Israel have not stopped sinning against me since the time of their sin at Gibeah. So at Gibeah, war will catch up with them. I will attack this sinful people and punish them. Nations will join together against them, and they will be punished for their many sins. We know about that. Israel was once like a well-trained young cow, ready and willing to thresh grain. But I decided to put a yoke on her beautiful neck and to harness her for harder work. I made Judah pull the plow and Israel pull the harrow. I said, plow new ground for yourself, plant righteousness, and reap the blessings that your devotion to me will produce. It is time for you to turn to me, your Lord, and I will come and pour out blessings upon you. Blessing after blessing after blessing. That's what we should be asking for now. Blessing after blessing after blessing. Most High, bless us, bless all that are hearing this right now, that for some reason they needed to hear this, that it's time for blessings. Receive it. Blessing. Blessing after blessing after blessing. The Lord said, I will come and pour out blessings upon you. But instead, you planted evil and reaped its harvest. You have eaten the fruit produced by your lies. Because you trusted in your chariots and in a large number of your soldiers, war will come to your people and all your fortresses will be destroyed. It will be like the day when King Shalman destroyed the city of Beth-arbel in battle, and mothers and their children were crushed to death. This is what will happen to you, people of Bethel, because of the terrible evil that you've done. As soon as the battle began, the kings of Israel will die. I go through chapter 11 and then we'll stop. God's love for his rebellious people. The Lord says, when Israel was a child, I loved him and called him out of Egypt as my son. But the more I called to him, the more he turned away from me. My people sacrificed to Baal. They burnt incense to idols. And yet I was the one who taught Israel to walk. I took my people up in my arms, and they did not acknowledge that I took care of them. I drew them to me with affection and love. I picked them up and held them to my cheek. I bent down to them and fed them. They refused to return to me. And so they must return to Egypt, and Assyria will rule them. War will sweep through their cities and break down the city gates. It will destroy my people because they do what they themselves think best. Do we do what we think is best? Certainly we do. But we have to stop and say, what? Most High, what do you want? Where do you want me to go? How do you want me to be? Who do you want me to be with? Who do you want me to love? Who do you want me to be around? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do with my time? How do you want me to use my time? Yeah, because in the end of the day, we are living and breathing because God said we can live and breathe. At any point, boom, we're out. We're not here. So they insist on turning away from me. They will cry out because of the yoke that is on them, but no one will lift it from them. How can I give you up, Israel? How can I abandon you? Could I ever destroy you as I did Admah, or treat you as I did Zeboim? My heart will not let me do it. My love for you is too strong. I will not punish you in my anger. I will not destroy Israel again. For I am God and not man. I, the Holy One, am with you. I will not come to you in anger. My people will follow me when I roar like a lion at their enemies. They will hurry to me from the west. They will come from Egypt as swiftly as birds, and from Assyria like doves. I will bring them to their homes again. I, the Lord, have spoken. And we'll go into, looks like there's a little bit of chapter 11 there, but we'll stop here. Okay, so it looks like the Most High came around a little bit. What is this? Thorns and weeds will grow up on their altars. 10:8. The hilltop shrines of Avon, where the people of Israel worship idols, will be destroyed. Thorns and weeds will grow up on their altars, and people will call out to the mountains, hide us, and to the hills, cover us. You know, this is thorns and weeds. So they're kind of like not green anymore. Those are thorns and weeds. Probably a little green is there somewhere. I guess so. This was the idol. You know that it was gold. So they crafted these things out of their jewelry. I just imagine that. I mean, that's a symbol of what in the world? Oh, gold. Oh, gold. Thorns and weeds will grow up on their altars. So that was Hosea chapter 8 through 11. And we will pick up on chapter 12 and get through 14 and we'll be done. So until next time, try to keep it real.